What is up, everybody? I hope you're all doing well. Today we are checking out the JHS OC71 Germanium Boost. So what is this thing? It's based on, think like a Dallas Rangemaster pedal. So it's a treble booster. So if you're not familiar with that, think Eric Clapton, of course Brian May is a big one, Tony Iommi, Rory Gallagher. All those guys used pedals like this into amps that were already pushed. So maybe it's a pushed AC30 or an AC30, already broken up or on the verge of breakup, or a Marshall amp on the verge of breakup, or even a Fender style amp, but it's already slightly overdriven, and then they hit this to basically cut through the mix and just create, especially solo voices that sound awesome, but even rhythm sounds that sound really cool. Now, this pedal is, from what I'm told from JHS, a limited release pedal because the component in there, which is the OC71, is an NOS component. So it's going to be a very limited release, and only, from what I'm told, is going to be direct sales via JHS, but I will put the link below so you can click on that and find out what's going on. So let's get right into the pedal. It's obviously very complicated. Okay, so you have obviously the main knob or potentiometer that's on there is the boost, on the pedal. So as you turn it up, it not only brings in that treble boost circuit, but it also brings in some saturation. We can get into how that sounds in the demo. It's really cool. As you turn it up, the tone definitely gets more saturated along with that really cool treble boost circuit. Now there's a toggle switch on the pedal. In the down position, it's going to be more like a typical treble boost style circuit. If you put it in the up position, it's going to add more low end for kind of a bigger sound, but still retain that boosted kind of treble circuit. So for the rhythm sounds that you heard in that performance, that was all with the switch in the up position. I wanted it to sound fatter, like a big, rhythm sound. So that Strat style guitar with a humbucker in the back, and then the Telecaster style, I didn't change anything on the pedal at all. I just switched between the two guitars, and that was the rhythm sound. For all of the solo sounds, I went ahead and threw the switch down to get that treble boost, that classic cool treble boost sound that sounds really, really great, especially on like a Les Paul in that neck position. You'll hear I use that, but even in back position, like bridge position, humbucker, and even single coil, it's still cut through really nicely. So let's check out this JHS Pedals OC71 Germanium Boost. Okay, so let's check this thing out. Normally, I would use an amp that's dialed really, really clean to make the pedal do all the work. So in the case of like overdrives or distortions, that's the direction I go, so you guys can really hear what the pedal's doing. In this case, being a Germanium treble boost pedal, those sound better into slightly overdriven amps, or even really overdriven amps, or pedals. In this case, for demo purposes, I'm going to run it into my Friedman DS40, which is what I used for that whole performance track. I didn't change anything on the amp. I had it dialed with just a little bit of breakup, not a ton, but it does break up. It's not dead clean. So here's the guitar just into the amp. And here is the OC71. Okay, so just quickly dialing the the gain up and down and throwing that toggle switch, which was really useful for all of those rhythm passes that I did with this guitar and the Tele style guitar. I did all of those with that switch in the up position, so it sounded fatter. But for all the solos, I did like with the Les Paul, especially in that neck position, I did that with the switch down to get everything to cut through. And this thing actually, that's the thing with like a treble booster, it doesn't just add a treble boost, it actually adds saturation. So you can hear right away that's not a ton of saturation, obviously. Just with this dialed where it is, it's already adding saturation as well as that kind of treble boost. Now it is in the up position, that toggle switch. If I throw it down, cuts through even more, cuts out some of those low mids, and just gives you that really boosted circuit. And that's more of like a stock treble boost sound. That's what I'm used to. But it was nice for the rhythm passes to be able to just go from that to there, giving me a little bit more low end, a little bit more spread out sound for the rhythm passes is a really nice feature. So just bumping back and forth, you can hear. Now if I stay in that kind of bigger setting, if I turn the control all the way down, the output, obviously no signal. Right there to me is about what I would consider unity gain. So in other words, we're not raising or lowering the volume, we're just adding the circuit to what's going on, and already it sounds great. I'm just going to go ahead and crank it. It doesn't add like a ton of volume, but there's definitely enough of a kick there, especially if you use it in a true kind of treble booster mode. Adds that saturation, but also that cut. Back the volume off on the guitar. Okay, so the last thing I want to show you is just so you get a better idea of the characteristic of what's happening. I'm going to go ahead and switch to my Bella, which is way cleaner. So I went from the Friedman, which I have dialed to break up just a little bit, to the Bella, which is super clean. I'll punch the pedal back in so you can just get an idea of the characteristic of the pedal. So that's what the pedal's doing. I think it sounds better into an overdriven amp. Obviously, that's what all of the greats, you name them, were using treble boosters for. They were hitting amps that were either edge of breakup or more. But just for the sake of letting you guys hear, you know, the character of the pedal itself, that's what's going on. But into an already broken up amp. Just sounds great into an already, I mean, I'm a treble booster fan. This one is cool. It's got a pretty hard to source germanium in it. And on top of that, you've got a switch that allows you to add a little bit more low end to the circuit, which is great. So that is the Germanium Boost OC71. If you've got any other questions about it, go to the website and check it out. And as always, I really appreciate you guys tuning in, and we will see you next time.